Hey, it's your girl Kdiddavis coming back out to you one more time. I feel like this kind of video is long overdue. I would feel like if there's updates to the shelter, I definitely want to give it to you guys more frequently about certain things. I feel like I said this in other videos, probably like, you know what it is? I put shelter stuff sometimes in my normal video, I feel like, about certain, like, not like long, drawn out things, but I don't know, guys. But I'm doing this update so you guys have certain things that is about. I also put an update if you don't know about am I still homeless kind of thing. But I plan to do some more stuff on here and also on TikTok about just certain things coming up and things like that. So right now they have a rule going around, like, if you don't know, in the shelters in New York City, because that's where I'm based. I don't know about every other state. I feel like all the other states have this rule. I think it's a federal rule, to be honest. But it might be a dumb rule. I don't really know how the rule came about. I don't know why it's here, why it's happening. So in the shelter, in the shelter system, to be able to get vouchers while you're in the shelter, you have to be accepted into the shelter. That's the first step. And you have to also be there for 90 days to be able to get a voucher and get help from the shelter providers and things like that. So because of this, people are in the shelter much longer than they have to, because first they have to get the voucher accepted first, and that could take, the acceptance process could take more than 90 days, to be honest. And once you get accepted, that's when your 90 days actually start, which is crazy. So they have a legislation that we're trying to stop things like that. I want to say legislation, I don't know, but people are out there on the Twitterverse and going up there and doing all these other, rallies and things like that to get that stopped, because honestly, having that in place is eating up our tax dollars and wasting people's times. I'm just saying, that's one thing. So another thing that we have, if you don't know by now, I feel like this is old, but honestly should have wrote things down, because honestly a lot of things I did forget. I'm sorry. If you, for vouchers, city FEPS, you can do that. You can qualify through HRA, which honestly FEPS is the same way. But if you are a person who wants to be able to do FEPS, right? Oh my gosh, I forgot I have a video. That's the point, sorry. I gotta edit some stuff. I'm like, hold up, I gotta edit some stuff. If you don't know how I'm qualified to speak about certain things, certain things are probably not as like 100% qualified, but I feel like in the system, a lot of different things are just intertwingled. That's not even a word, but it's in mingling with each other, and I get it here from there. But if you don't know, I'm Kdid. I'm formerly homeless. I was in a New York shelter with my daughter through PATH. PATH is where the families go. They're gonna go through DHS in New York City. I almost fell. Not really fall, like kind of tipping if you see that. But that's how I talk about my experience. And now I work with different organizations that help out families and things like that. And right now, I don't only do families, but I speak mostly on families because that's the one I know the most about, and that's the most I do. But I'm trying to get into the street homeless and youth homeless and single shelters to learn more about those programs, to also give you the information on there. So with Ovid and everything, a lot of things are happening through phones. You still have to go in person to PATH, and they said, all right, somebody had told me this is what they're experiencing, right? They said you have to always bring your kids with you to PATH, I know in COVID was like Ovid. They said you don't have to bring a kid with you. Now with it kind of, I'm not gonna say it's slowing down. I guess it's slower than before, but I feel like it's not getting as much publicity as it used to do, like back when it first came out. That now they changed the regulations of kids coming with you and they have to be there. But I was told from somebody in the system that your kids don't have to be there with you for certain things. Apparently, some workers, they have different rules for different workers. You know how like you go to somewhere and the rules is different for people? Same thing with PATH. Which to me, I feel like if we're all working on the same umbrella, we shouldn't have the first floor working at one thing, or your child should be there. Next floor, second floor, to say your child shouldn't be there. It's very difficult for me to hear that the rule is, because of Ovid, we're not gonna go back on these rules, but yet now kids have to be there. Like, they make your kids miss school, which I understand why they want your kids to be there, because the process, honestly, compared to before, is much shorter. We could probably be there longer, and then you have to go get your kid and you miss things. Well, a lot of things are going through phone calls. So it's like, do I really have to be here for a phone call? Probably not. It says good to have a working phone when you go there, because a lot of the things are not like interview in person like they used to be. Maybe for some people they are, depending, I guess, language barriers or if you have a phone or not. But a lot of the interviews they're doing are over the phone. So that's one thing. I told you before, guys, that you don't share your space. So I found out recently, this is mostly for DV people, and all right, they have different kind of shelters: men, women, youth, and families. As I said before, I'm more versed on families. When you're in a men or women shelter, you are going to share space. For a fact, I knew that before I was in the shelter for men and women. Sorry, I'm just like doing this crazy so my feet. I'm standing up. Men and women share spaces. I think it's called congregate shelters. That's what they call them. They don't have their own units. They don't have their own bathrooms. They share a space. Okay. So, with the people who are transgendered, they have in certain shelters, they have a space just for them where they don't share space. But most times they're in general population. But they do have shelters. Some shelters are accommodating for them, and they have their own living area and bathroom kind of thing. So it depends on what shelter you go to, things like that. So in family shelters, what goes through PATH, you have your own space. You have your own bathroom, your own little kitchen area, and you have your own, like, your bed area. Apparently, for people with DV, like, they have a thing what goes through with PATH. People, they have two sides. And this is usually the highest population too. There's a DV and they have regular, right? Which I was found the regular guy didn't have DV. If you don't know what the DV is, right now this is great. Not great that it's happening, but we are in October, which is Domestic Violence Month, Awareness Month. I can't forget to say month instead of saying Awareness Month. So come for me, okay? Come for your mom. Just saying. Anyway, so they have a certain department just for them. It's called Nova through PATH. But so people go through PATH and go through those programs have their own space. Apparently, and the funny thing, when I first went to the shelter. Before I went to PATH, and they denied me just flat out. They didn't give me a place to stay. They usually give you like a place you could stay overnight or something like that. They didn't give me nothing. I was going to different shelters to see if they could take me and whatever with me having a baby. Different shelters have different ways you can get into the shelter, but either go through DHS or just different systems. And one place I know they had the common area was shared, but your bathroom and your room wasn't. But your kitchen and living room and dining room thing wasn't shared. I mean, was shared, but your bathroom and your room was not shared. So if you don't go through PATH, you go through like a safe haven kind of thing, right? Which I think is mostly a Safe Horizon. Got no person who did it, and I do a podcast, and this is part of her story. So I'm kind of going from her, and this is how I even found out this even happening. If your person goes through different ways, if you don't go through PATH, if you go to a different like venue, PATH is over here, different venues over here. I don't know if it's a money thing or what it is. It could also said from what she might say also, if you have one kid, they will give you in a two bedroom place. You gotta share that thing. But if you have more than one kid, you get your own established area. They say because people might be lonely, you want to have somebody to talk to and To me, I didn't even know that was a thing. Having people share spaces, being homeless when you're a family. I thought they went off with that. Like back in the day, I think they, from what I understand, like you're in gym areas and churches on the floor and a cot. That's what I thought shelter was when I first got into being homeless. But it changed. But I think states actually have that, but New York City is not like that. So yeah, that's what's going on right now. It's a lot of different things. It's a formula shortage, which was happening before. I think it's not as happening. Like people are not talking about it as much now, but especially people coming out from like the asylum seekers, they're not having food. Which honestly, like I was talking to somebody else about this, they should have had this thing put together a long time ago before this even happened. Before even COVID happened, they should have had. Because, all right, if you don't know, not all shelters, they'll give you food, usually frozen food, cereal, fruits and vegetables. Like not vegetables, mostly just fruits, right? And the frozen vegetables will be inside the frozen food, right? But usually most shelters don't give baby formula. They don't give you toilet paper. So if you don't have a job, you don't have welfare, and if you don't, like, if you say you don't have, you're not a citizen and you can't afford to get welfare, and you have a kid, you get money through welfare for that. You could toilet paper you have to buy. I'm not saying these things you shouldn't buy, but if a person's already struggling and they need extra money for other things, maybe toilet paper should be a thing. give them a certain allowance a month for those things, or just give it to them, or I don't know. But I feel like certain things, especially where a state will allow a lot of homeless people to come in, because we are, I forgot what's the proper word for it, but we're basically open arms to any immigrants. Like if you are undocumented, it's a safe haven kind of place. And we're also open arms if you need to be right for homeless. It's a right to homeless, right to shelter, that's what it's called. If you have all these things that we say we're gonna be, whatever, why in the world don't we have these things set up in place before time? You wait till a crisis happens to get it together? Sorry, miss. Let's be real. Anyway, so that's what's going on right now. But what other shelter things are happening at this moment? It's passed already, but I did a video about this already. But the EHV voucher, make sure you are always looking at your emails. Make sure you look in spam if they're sending it through that way. Just make sure you have you keep you're on the back end and next of your housing specialist. Please advocate for yourself. People forget this. If you got a problem and the director not helping you, a case manager not helping you, housing specialist not helping you, call 311. Because when they get on that butt, when they get on that tail, the Laffy Taffy, the Chico sticks, I promise you, they get on the ball with it. I did an interview, also a podcast interview today. It'll be coming out soon. So go check that out at Hear Our Voices on Spotify, on Anchor, on other stuff, right? She got 311 and things got done. Like, 311 is it? When you in the shelter, 311 is your friend, homie. 311 is your friend. You need to get it together. Like, I promise you, like, advocating for yourself in the shelter is the best way to get out. If you don't advocate, if you don't be on the next, if you don't call 1,000 times and they hear your voicemail, but after a while, after 1,001 call, the voicemail get full up. So you gotta call back several days to make sure they hear that phone ringing until you get help. If you gotta do it. Because nobody's gonna help you better than you will help yourself. Well, God obviously gonna help you better than you help yourself. But that's not what I'm saying. People wise, it's just ridiculous. It's out of control. Guys, I have a resource packet. Well, not I. My job has a resource packet. If you want information, I hope I can put it at the bottom of this video. If not, you can DM me on Instagram, on Twitter, Kdiddavis, as you see the name. The links are in the bio. Link is in the other places. You can find me there. And we can give you a resource packet about how to get beds, how to get clothes, how to get furniture. Well, technically, a bed is a part of furniture. You know what I mean? How to get these things that you need for help. Clothing, things like that. Even, Christmas is coming up. If you celebrate Christmas, the Salvation Army and other, like, I know Canva, Catholic Charities was doing, I feel like they have done it since Ona, but they usually give out toys and stuff for kids. If that's your situation and you can't afford it, go get the free things. Like, what are you waiting for? What are you waiting? You waiting for me to say, here, give you the money? I don't got it. I don't got it to give. I got 2 kids. I'm not Oprah. I'm not Winfrey. My name is not K Did Winfrey. It's not. So, it wait for me to give out giveaways and give out $1,000. I'm not at that point yet. I can give you a $10, $20 giveaway for supporting me and being with your girl and hanging with me and putting it up. Guys, also, can y'all send my stuff out, my video out to people? Share it with people. Share it. Subscribe. I help you. I do a lot of video about homelessness and this and that and this, whatever. Shebang, shaboom, shabang. And y'all not sharing. The people who are watching it are not sharing it out as it needs to be. I'm just saying, like, for real. Like, I'm giving you information and it's free. Like, literally, I'm not asking for no moon, no money, no nothing, no data, no nothing. Y'all can't share sister out. It's free. Like, it's free. Like, nothing. 0 cents. $0. You're not getting charged for this. If you got 10 accounts, just add your 10 accounts and then just play me. But honestly, I have a lot of videos. I have over, I think, 1,000 videos. You can pick something to watch. I'm just saying. I do enough vlogs. I have videos in here before my daughter. If you look at my first, go back to my first video. Compared to this quality, that's what I'm crying. No, sir. The video bad. But I started at the bottom. Now I'm here. I'm not really at the here, but I'm like, I'm here. I started at the bottom. Now I'm here. I'm gonna be here in a few years. I don't know. We'll see. I could be here in December. I'm saying, God can make a way. I feel like Carlton. Not on you. You can see my voice. And then anyway, wait, I don't know how to put on nothing like my eyes. Yeah. I got my hair straight. If you know it's cold, it's wet. It didn't get water on it yet, but my hair just is hairing. What other shelter news is there? I don't know. Sometimes shelters do have things, they just don't announce it. Maybe ask a caseworker, I need this kind of thing. If not, honestly, just come on here. I have resources before, like I said, that can help you with certain things for you and your child. If you can afford it, just ask. You never, honestly, a closed mouth don't get fed, like they said, and if you don't ask, you're not gonna get the answer. So I hope this is helpful. If you have any other questions, I'm gonna do another video like this, impromptu. Can you imagine living with me, girl? Impromptu video like this, I definitely love to do it. Write down comments below and I could probably do in a video or ask. Honestly, what I need to do is go through my damn comments and answer those questions in a video and call it a day. Look at me though, I'm so cute, like thumbnail. I'm not going to do the thumbnail like that, but you know, nail of thumb. Thank you guys, and we're blessed and highly favored. Bye. Hey, if you wanna boo, do do do.